Femininity is illustrated by the embodiment of feminine energies, which are critical characteristic traits which define what makes a woman. These attributes do not just confine to high-pitched voices, long hair, or flushed cheeks, which are usually considered synonymous with femininity. Instead, true femininity runs a lot deeper and is associated with feelings such as creativity, openness, and emotional availability to take care of oneself and those around them. To be feminine is to be giving and free-flowing, soft and nurturing. Femininity goes hand in hand with love and tenderness, and once a female cracks this code to find the femininity in her, there is absolutely no going back. In layman terms, femininity can be described as a set of characteristics, conducts, and roles which are generally associated with women. Despite being socially constructed, femininity is deeply rooted in our biology, and it is almost inevitable to completely distinguish between the socially constructed aspect of femininity and its biological factors. However, femininity is not confined to women. Both feminine and masculinity are energies that exist within every human being, but it is the balance between the energies that differentiates a masculine man to a feminine woman. Men are expected to embody more masculine traits, such as being focused, ambitious, strong, and direct, while also making sure that they have a tiny dash of female energy in them, such as generosity, empathy, humility, and kindness. One must always try to have a healthy balance between their masculine and feminine energies and match the yings with their yangs proportionately for their overall well-being. Despite being innately biological and socially constructed, femininity can also be traced to some cultural factors across the globe. For instance, traits such as passivity and sensitivity are associated with women, whereas aggression and intelligence is associated with men. This has no concrete evidence nor justification in reality. However, just like everything, femininity also has its own negatives. Womanliness is not seen as a superpower or even through a positive light by many. In the 1963 book, The Feminine Mystique, American feminist Betty Friedan wrote that the key to women's dominant lay in the social construction of femininity as childlike, passive, and dependent, and named this as a drastic reshaping of the cultural image of femininity. Meanwhile, authors such as Carol Pateman, Rhea Kloppenborg, and Wouter J. Hanegraaff argued that the definition of femininity is the result of how females must behave in order to maintain a patriarchal social system. Subsequently, femininity is also seen as inferior to masculinity, and humans are appreciated when they exemplify more masculine characteristics, whereas representing your feminine energy is looked down upon. This has to do with our male and masculine-centric culture, which till date conspires to undermine feminine traits and the people who express them. Statements like masculinity is strong while femininity is weak, that masculinity is serious while femininity is frivolous, that masculinity is functional while femininity is ornamental, is just proof that the world doesn't want feminine energies to flourish in this world. But what is probably the most misunderstood area of femininity is the notion that it is constructed to attract the masculine and is performed for the benefit of men. Dressing up well, wearing makeup, and high heels are all associated with grabbing male attention. Even the emotional availability of women and their nurturing qualities is distorted into the myth that it's the woman's job to take care of the man in heterosexual relationships. But in reality, most women who dress feminine are also extremely interested in other forms of visual beauty. They have good taste, and aesthetic plays a high role in their lives. In fact, we believe the myth that feminine clothes are designed to attract male attention stems from society's sexualization of women. Articles of clothing, whether they are modest or explicit, have no inherent meaning unless we assign them any. Any symbolism or definitions they hold come from our societies and one's own personal assumptions. Rather than critiquing feminine styles of dress, we should instead destroy the sexist myth that feminine dress exists solely for the benefit of men. In a culture where a woman's self-worth is undeniably measured by how attractive she looks, such notions and beliefs only take us backward and do not let women simply exist and live the way they desire. This is a gentle reminder to all the goddesses out there to never let anyone take away your femininity, your superpower away from you, because the world needs more of it. What are your thoughts about femininity? Let us know in the comments down below.